Hi friends, it's Danielle with Clean House Simple Mama, and you are watching 100 Days to a Cleaner Home. Something that I wanted to talk about today is kind of how my hoarding started. I know I've touched subject on it a few times, and I kind of started talking about it on my live on Tuesday, but I got super sidetracked. So I'm going to talk about it right now. When I was younger, we lived in this house that I live in right now, and we always had like a little bit too many toys or too many clothes or stuff like that, but it was not anywhere close to this. And then when I started growing up, I just never started giving things away. So I still had all the things through basically all my childhood. And my bedroom, I would say my bedroom didn't look like bad. It was always messy, but it wasn't like, oh, there's a path, or oh, I have to go, through this door because that door is not available, which I only have one door, so that's a good thing. When I got to college, I took the things I needed, so everything was fine. And when I went, then I moved back home. I moved back home into my room that was a cluttered mess. And then I moved out for a while, like 5 months. That was good and tidy. There wasn't a lot of stuff because I only took what I wanted. Then I came back home because Quincy was arriving. And then I stayed here for a few years, and then I decided it was time for us to get a place of our own, Quincy and I. So we got a little studio apartment type thing. And that was my OCD moment. Like, that was when I could not leave the house if something was not in its place. If something was out of place and I was about to leave the door, even if I was gonna be late, I would still have to run back in and put it away. So that was nice. And okay, so I don't want to be that OCD about things. I don't even know if it is OCD. I think it was. But I want to go back to that. I don't want to go back to not being able to leave the house, but I want to go back to everything having a place and putting stuff away and having things where they need to be instead of just all over the place, random stuff, and then you can never find what you need. That's where I'm at right now. And then way too much stuff. I believe that my clutter threshold is very minimal items, because then after that we moved into an apartment that was 2-story, but it was skinny this way and it had 2 stories. So there was more stuff that I could have instead of just a studio apartment, but it still had too much stuff because I couldn't just put it away real quick, or I didn't, I guess. Maybe I got lazy. Maybe it's because Quincy was a little bit older and he was not putting his things away also, and then I was lazy and I didn't want to put them away. I'm not sure. I don't remember. That was like 10 years ago. And then we moved into this house, my original house. And like I stated earlier, my mom lived here and she got a different house. So she didn't really take everything with her, which is fine. It's not that big of a deal. But my stuff never had a place. So when I start off unorganized and then I just keep adding more stuff, it just got real unorganized. And I do have pictures of my kids, and this house didn't look like this. Like, even pictures of Michaela when she was a baby, it still didn't look like this. Like, I believe that this real bad, I mean, there was upstairs. The upstairs bedroom was kind of where stuff got shoved. my bedroom, the junk room, whatever you want to call it. That's where stuff got shoved. And so the downstairs was nicer. Not like always put together or anything, but it was nicer. And I believe that all of this really started after I had my daughter. I wanted to have my own business and start really taking that serious. And so I had all these ideas, and instead of researching them and looking into what it was, what it all entailed and all that kind of stuff, I just started buying the pretty things. So one of the things, I'll go through the list. So starting in 2012, I started doing photography. And back then, I thought it was really cool to have all these props to put with my photography to like have a styled photo shoot. Now I don't think that. I feel like no props and closer up of people is better than having like a set. So I don't really use props anymore unless it's for like a baby photo shoot, which I don't really do newborns much anymore anyhow. Okay, in the last 5 years, I would say 5 years, I started a children's boutique, children's clothing and toys, that kind of stuff. But I wanted it to be all natural. I wanted it to be only from the US, and I wanted it to be handmade. So you see all these really cool wooden toys that are handmade and all this stuff on Instagram, but the majority of those are not made in the US. And if they are made in the US, then the people that are making them are asking buku bucks for them. And so to sell something like that is already expensive for you to purchase, and then you have to up your price to make profit, it didn't really work in my smaller town. So that, plus taking pictures of my own, because I feel like I have to always have my own pictures. I can't use stock photos or that kind of thing. It's kind of a problem, I know. But that is one of the major reasons why I did not continue, because online sales for me is not that easy, because I am a perfectionist when it comes to having the perfect picture or the right picture or my idea of what the picture should look like. So that's a big problem of mine. So then I moved on to, because that didn't really work out, and I was sewing my own things. I made some stuff. It was really cute, but it just wasn't sustainable. Like, not that it wasn't sustainable in like products or anything, but it was not something that I could keep doing at a profitable rate. So then I stopped that. Then I moved on to a wedding rental, a boho wedding rental. So I have like probably 4 peacock chairs. They're just in the shed. So you guys have never seen them, but I have like 4 peacock chairs. I have a bunch of bamboo stuff. I have a bunch of wicker stuff. I have a bunch of colored glasses. Well, I did, but a lot of them got taken, sold at my vendor show. I have wood stuff. I have brass stuff. I have pottery stuff. I have so many things. And then that didn't pan out, because I learned that every single weekend was going to be taken. The insurance that I was going to have was pretty ridiculous for me, I personally. And then fear of failure, guys. That's probably the biggest one. I didn't even try, because I was too scared of failing. So I can buy all the things and I can make a curated, yeah, I could be somebody's shopper, that's for sure. But I had the fear of actually succeeding. Okay, and then with all of that stuff, now that I own, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna turn my vintage, my children's boutique, I'm gonna turn that into a vintage boutique. So with all the brass and the pottery and all that kind of stuff, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a boutique and it's gonna be awesome. I took some pictures. I posted them. I sold a few things online, but it wasn't anything like I could quit my job and keep going. I was not committed enough. I didn't post. It's the perfectionist thing, man. That and the fear of failure. I think the biggest part was the fear of failure, but also a lot of people who, not a lot, but there's a lot of people that have vintage boutiques and they sell vintage clothes, which I also had started buying more stuff, you know. But I really wanted to get into the vintage boutique clothes section, and so I started buying things, and guess what? I couldn't fit into them. I can imagine how somebody would look if they were wearing it, but I couldn't show people how I would imagine them looking because I could not try it on myself. And a lot of people that are doing vintage boutique clothing are skinny enough to fit into the clothes that they're buying to sell. So that didn't work out for me. So I had to get a model and take her pictures, which I'll show you what some of those pictures look like. And they were beautiful, and she was beautiful, and my outfits were beautiful, and I was so excited. But then, I don't know, I didn't take more pictures. Anyhow, so that failed. And that is the majority of the stuff that's in my house now, is the vintage boutique stuff that I'm trying to get rid of. And I have one more sale in September, and then anything that doesn't go on for the September sale, I'm just gonna say goodbye because I'm just tired of the stuff being in my house. Okay, then after that, there's still stuff in here from that, but I still had more ideas. So I started doing Poshmark because I started watching somebody on YouTube, and they're like, oh, it's super easy. You just take pictures like this and then you post it and you do all the things. Well, I did. I sold quite a few things on Poshmark, but it was a hassle. It was a hassle trying to keep up. It was a hassle taking the pictures because, once again, perfectionism on pictures, it's my thing. And yeah. And then I could go to my thrift store, and I think twice a year, maybe 4 times a year. I think it's every season. But they have this sale, and it is $4 for a bag. So I stuffed the poo out of those bags. I did the whole rolling method. I could probably get at least 30 shirts in the bag for $4. Like, I would have made profit, guys. Like, and then with that, I was like, oh, if I can get these shirts for like 2-3 pennies, I'm going to do an online clothing auction. So I've watched people online, and they just have a regular, like thrift stores, but they hold up a shirt and they say, I'm selling this shirt for $4. And then it has a number, and then you ship it off to whoever buys it. I could have made some good money on that, because I would get those shirts for less than 5 cents with the bag sale. I really could have done a good job, but there's the doing it. And you gotta do it. And I didn't do it. And so yeah. So those are the, let's see, I had a list. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 things in the last, 5 things in the last 5 years that I have tried to do that I ended up buying things for. Now, this brand, Clean House Simple Mama, I really feel like this is it for me. And I really hope that this is it for me, and I hope that I can maybe someday, eventually, in like a few years or something, my 5-year plan would not be working, and it would just be doing this. And obviously, I hope in 5 years I'm not decluttering like I am now. I hope that I have tips and tricks to share with people, and I hope that I can continue on with my other subjects. My other subjects are sustainability and healthy eating. I also really want to get into that. My other one was homestead, but I'm not so sure homestead. I don't know if homestead's gonna be a thing for me. I feel like maybe that was another dream. I feel like maybe that was another entrepreneurial thing. I don't know. I do have chickens and I love them. Just had a mishap last night where we don't have as many chickens as we did. But I do love my chickens, and we just got a rabbit, so there's the possibility of that. But as far as land and a farm, and which I would love to have, but my son's already 13, my daughter's 6. In 5 years she'll be what, 12, 11? Yeah, 11. And so I just don't know if I see that continuing. So, but anyhow, I don't know where I was. I wandered off on a squirrel rabbit trail. But I appreciate you. I am so glad that you are watching my videos. And I really hope that you continue. We'll see you next time. Tuesday, I am not doing a live. And if I do a live, it's just going to be a check-in. It's not going to be a decluttering. And then I'll have another video up for you next Thursday. So, bye-bye. Hi friends, how are you today? And then threshold, not thrush. Become an entrepreneur. I don't know how to say it.